Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss the 10th lesson in media syllabus. So when we think about the 10th lesson, you have to learn about communication policies and media monitoring. So in this lesson, you need to remember some important points. Actually, if you can remember these things, directly you can select those questions and you can answer, right? So when we think about these communication policies, they are for all the people, but when we think about this media monitoring, that means for the media people, right? So let's see what are the important points that you need to remember in this 10th lesson. So first of all, you need to remember these kind of things. So what are those things? That the institution and their concept. Okay, so here remember BBC Foundation of Royal Charter. So introduction of the concept of public service broadcasting, right? So I'll show you how they are asking questions from these points, so you need to remember that. Okay, so BBC Foundation of Royal Charter, introduction of the concept of public service broadcasting. Here I'm not going to give a detailed explanation, just only saying the important points, so you will be able to watch that quickly, okay, and revise all the points. Then you have to remember the United States of America, the Communication Act, that means this Federal Communication Commission, so you need to remember FCC, right? So what are the points that you need to remember with this FCC? American Broadcasting System, they have provided this kind of thing, American Broadcasting System, that means guidelines for the American Broadcasting System, television system, telegraph, and the aligned foreign communication processes. Okay, so you need to remember those kind of thing. Then you have the first conference on communication policies, so that is what is the place? San Jose in Costa Rica, right? So roughly remember those things, because sometimes maybe they are asking those things in the MCQ session, MCQ part. Okay, so then you have the McBride Commission, so you can see that who sponsored this, the Nobel Award winner Sean McBride, under the sponsorship of UNESCO. Okay, those kind of thing. Then you have Herbert Schiller. So Herbert Schiller, he has shown about this, how the broadcasting frequency changes, and about this satellite communication. Then you need to remember the name McBride report means what? That is Many Voices One World document by UNESCO. So that is the you need to remember those names. Okay, McBride report and also this Many Voices One World, same report. Okay, then you have the next point, that means how these communication policies act in a country, right? And also significances of media regulation. So here if you can remember some examples also to prove these facts. Then you have the next important point, that is Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR. Okay, so here you need to remember from this one, they are talking about the human rights around the world, and you need to remember, I have highlighted, that means you can see bold letters and also underlined points. You can remember those things, right? So then you need to remember 10th December, that is the Human Rights Day, and it is about the Second World War, most of the time we can say. And this clause 19, everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. So these kind of rights include in this UDHR, right? Basic human rights. Okay, so you need to remember those universal, that means Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR. Okay, so remember that point. Then this date, 10th December. Then you have the next one, that is State Constitution. So remember, you have only 2 points here. What is that? UDHR and this State Constitution. Okay, so here also you have some points, the right to express freely, right? And what are the things that you need to remember? The right to information, right? So those kind of thing as a fundamental human right. So these kind of thing you need to remember in this State Constitution. So here you have only 2 points. What are those things? About UDHR and also about State Constitution. Then you have the media freedom. So what do you mean by media freedom? Actually, in order to maintain good communication with the media, there must be this media freedom. Otherwise there will be so many issues with the media, right? So media freedom must be there. There must be just not like for the other citizens, but also for the media there must be this kind of freedom, right? Yes, so that is by UDHR. Then you have acts, right? So here also the same procedure is going. You have two acts, right? So what is that? Intellectual Property Act, and the next one is Right to Information Act, right? So most of the time they are asking this question in the second part as the writing part, okay? So remember that. So the right of ownership. So what is this Intellectual Property Act means? The right of ownership, right? Maybe arts, right? Maybe any art valuable thing like short stories, novels, right? So music, films, those kind of thing. Any of those kind of property, we categorize them as this Intellectual Property Act. That means if somebody has used those kind of property, one's property, without getting any permission, so we can get actions through this act, that is Intellectual Property Act, okay? So then another concept is there. We can use this property, others property, by using this concept, that is fair use, okay? So fair use means in order to teach somebody, in order to gather information, so news, like that way we can use this others property, right? So but we are looking at these following factors in order to confirm that usage, okay? So use and its nature, so those kind of thing. Now think about, for example, one person has written a novel, right? So what I am doing, I am getting printouts and I am without buying that novel, because you know that one, they are writing novels and short stories, those kind of thing, in order to make a profit, no? So what is happening if I printed those things and distributed among the students? They will never buy the total book, no? So that is why we have to see the purpose of doing. But if I use those things, those photocopies or those kind of printouts for the purpose of teaching, so that will be a fair use, okay? But we have to avoid, we have to give the permission for the author or the owner to get the profit, okay? So that is it. So that is Intellectual Property Act. Then you have Right to Information Act. That means right to know some of the state information from the state units for the benefit of the public, right? So remember that one. If they are asking about right, what do you mean by this Right to Information Act, you can directly state that right to know some of the state information from the state units for the benefit of the public, right? So that is it. Then you have media regulation. So in here you need to remember the necessity of media regulation, why we use these things, and this is another important point. Types of regulations, right? So here you have four main regulations, different types. First one, self-regulation. Second one, co-regulation, statutory regulation, and in-house regulation. So what are they? Self-regulation, co-regulation, statutory regulation, and in-house regulation. So you need to remember these four types, because in the second part they are asking questions from these two. Self-regulation means self, that means one by oneself they are trying to control themselves, right? So as the media owner, as the editors, right, independently they have a set of regulation to follow, okay? So that we call as self-regulation. Then you have co-regulation. Co-regulation means what? Co-regulation means by the owners or by the media and also with the state. Remember, state plus media, okay? That is co-regulation. Media owners and all the other parties and also the state, right? Co-regulation means that interlink, okay? So remember that one. Then you have co-regulation. Then you have statutory regulation. So that means from civil society, that means statutory regulation means by the parliament, by the state. Okay, so that is statutory regulation, so remember that point. Okay, then you have in-house regulation, that means by the media. Okay, so that is by the media. Wait a minute, now here remember self-regulation. I had a call. So self-regulation means just by oneself. Co-regulation means what? The media and the state. Then state regulation means what? That means by the state alone, that means by the parliament. In-house regulation means that organization, that means the media. Okay, so now think about in-house regulation. You have to remember this person, ombudsman, right? So he is sometimes he is a past or retired person of the same institute, so you need to remember that, right? So yes, yeah, so these are the things that you need to remember. Okay, so here you have four main types: self-regulation, co-regulation. So remember, self-regulation means by oneself, and co-regulation means by the state and by the media, right? Both of them. And statutory means only by the state, and in-house means only by the media, that means from that media organization. And you need to remember this man, this person, that is the ombudsman. Okay, who talks about the issues in the in that organization, right? So then you have some institutions that you need to remember, right? So here you need to remember these institutions and their functions, and also who has appointed the board, that means the people who are working in this regulatory institutions. Okay, so those kind of thing we need to remember. So let's see the first one, public performance board. So here the main intention, that means to before now see, if you have invented or if you have created a film, okay, so before screening you have to go to this place. So what is that? Public performance board. Before screening you have to go to this place. Okay, so and you can see some certificates are there. So after they have watched the film, they are giving a certificate for you. Okay, so it may be U certificate, it may be X certificate, or else A certificate. So however, you need to get that certificate before screening to the people, to the public. Okay, so what is that? U certificate means suitable for all the types of audience. So they are giving these certificates by considering the audience. Okay, so U certificate means suitable for all the types of audience. Then X certificate means suitable only for adults, that means over 18 years old. And A certificate means more suitable for adults. But now think about if those parents have bring their children also, so they also allowed to watch that film. Okay, so yes, family films, those kind of thing. Okay, so that is a certificate. Not A, actually family means all the people can see, no, so that means U certificate, right? So now A certificate means more suitable for adults, right? More suitable for adults, but if they have bring their children, so they also can watch that, right? If the parents are okay with that, showing those kind of thing, so that's okay for the people, the media owners also. Okay, so that is it. So remember, there are three varieties in this certificate given: U certificate, an X certificate, and A certificate. Okay, so they are asking those things also in the examination, so remember them. Then the second one, Sri Lanka Press Council. So here they are talking about the press, means the printed media, right? So about the journalism, right? So press commissioner, he is the president of the country who appoints the chairman and the members of the board of directors. So remember this one. And the third one, Sri Lanka Telecommunication Regulatory Commission. So telecommunication and telecommunication industry protection measure. So here you can see the chairman of the commission and the board of directors are appointed by the president. So here also the same procedure is going on. The fourth one, Press Complaint Commission of Sri Lanka. So this is a self-regulation body, and for this purpose, a board of directors are appointed to continue with the settlement function. Okay, so if there is any complaints with the press, okay, so this is the institution that you need to go for. Then fifth one, Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team Coordination. So this is about the cyber security, that means about the internet, okay, television, internet or those kind of thing. We comes with this fifth one, that is Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team Coordination Center, somewhat lengthy name, okay. So then you have some media ethics, that means newspaper ethics are there, television ethics are there, new media ethics are there, guidelines, right, how we have to behave in those institutions and how we can construct the contents, those kind of thing you need to learn about them. Yeah, so those are the things that you need to remember in this lesson. So I'll revise all the things again. When we think about the 10th lesson, communication policies and media monitoring, you have to remember these key points in the beginning, and you have to remember these UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and also this state constitution. After that, media freedom, another concept, and then you have Intellectual Property Act and also Right to Information Act. After that, about the media regulations, you have different types, right, self-regulation, co-regulation, statutory regulation and in-house regulation. So here self-regulation means independent manner, and co-regulation means both the combination of state and the media. Statutory regulation means by the state, right, in-house means by the media organization, right. So remember those things. After that, you have different institutions. First one, Public Performance Board, and the second one, Sri Lanka Press Council. Third one, Sri Lanka Telecommunication Regulatory Commission. Fourth one, Press Complaint Commission of Sri Lanka. And the fifth one, Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team Coordination Center. So these are the things that you need to remember. Yes.